A growing tech landmark is taking the San Francisco skyline to new heights, but that's not all it's doing.
KPIX5's Wilson Walker shows us the massive Salesforce Tower taking shape south of Market represents a change much bigger than itself.
We are seeing the most profound and dramatic change to the skyline since the late 60s and early 70s, when the Transamerica Pyramid went up and the Bank of America building went up and all the kind of flat top towers in there.
No matter what road brings you to San Francisco, it is right in front of you now. From the East Bay Hills to Bernal Heights, this skyscraper is grand.
This is just sort of out.
Yeah.
You know, I'm here, and you're not going to miss me.
And once the stature of the thing really hits you, you start seeing it everywhere.
And suddenly it's like, that wasn't there before.
So what do we make of the Salesforce Tower, looming over city landmarks and reshaping our skyline?
All of a sudden, everyone was noticing it.
John King is architecture critic for the San Francisco Chronicle, and Jasper Rubin is a professor of urban planning at San Francisco State University.
You know, when you have the tallest building, there's something about the tallest building that really marks a spot.
So let's start by talking height. The Bank of America building stands 779 feet tall, the Pyramid 853 feet, and Salesforce will finally take the city above 1,000 feet, but taller doesn't necessarily mean larger.
Funny thing about that building, it has about 1.4 million square feet in it. The Bank of America building has 1.8 million square feet in it.
So we have a tower that is deliberately towering, what you might call an emphatic statement in a discussion that goes back to at least the 1960s.
The apartment structures of Fontana probably initiated the sort of height battles in San Francisco because they blocked views from Russian Hill.
But the fight that started in Russian Hill reached new heights downtown.
The San Francisco skyline is changing once again. New high-rise buildings are going up at an unprecedented rate.
Throughout the 70s, you had various initiatives to try and slow down downtown, stop Manhattanization, control the towers. The planning department downzoned the towers that were allowed.
And it wasn't just a backlash against tall buildings. It was an awfully familiar sounding discussion over what kind of city San Francisco was going to become.
Those districts are going to become increasingly intolerable to live in simply because of traffic congestion.
By the 80s, there were limits on the growth of office space and caps on building heights, so developers just built right up to those limits.
The refrigerator boxes, which people call them from the 70s, were sort of aesthetically displeasing to many people.
The result was a skyline that a lot of people hated, and it was frozen in time by the resistance to more growth, and there wouldn't be a thaw for decades.
We think the skyline could use some more oomph. It's flat now with an average of 400 feet, high-rises built over the years.
That is San Francisco's planning director in 2006 laying out this plan for more oomph.
It'd be nice to see a little more peaking there.
And this was the city's crude illustration of that peaking idea, and 10 years later, we're really starting to see it.
So that's part of it. Part of the idea is to sculpt the skyline in such a way that it feels like topography.
So you'll have this shape like that.
Take Salesforce, 181 Fremont, and the Millennium Tower, and you've also moved downtown's center of gravity.
I think it's marking a dramatic shift in the weight of the city from the traditional financial district core to south of Market, which has been happening for a while.
This is the new center of town. Theoretically, this is the heart of big city San Francisco.
As for the backlash to this building, you can find a critical Facebook page, but certainly not the ballot measure resistance we've seen before.
There may be some people who will dislike the tower, but I think it's nothing like the fights used to be.
One of the emails I got was they're destroying our beloved skyline. Well, our beloved skyline is the skyline that people fought tooth and nail in the 1970s and 80s.
And in that respect, the Salesforce Tower represents something much larger than the building itself. It's an unavoidable timestamp on a dramatically changed city, new economy, new demographics. So an opinion on this structure can be much more than a question of aesthetic. It can reflect who you are and where you might fit or not fit in San Francisco 2017.
For some people it means, wow, that's a job. I can work downtown and I can maybe get to work in the new Transbay Terminal. I can walk to work from my apartment in One Rincon. For other people it means, uh-oh, more people with more money putting more pressure on the housing market. I'm scared.
Not just a building.
It's not just a building. It's a force.
So to speak.
So to speak.
In San Francisco, Wilson Walker, KPIX5.